Guys, I want to break some news. This is from Adam Schefter. The Saints and Broncos are finalizing compensation, and you had a feeling in return for Super Bowl winning head coach Sean Payton.
Can we at least say, Chris, that before we went live, I said this might go down anytime in a second. So I kind of had it before Schefter, just didn't report it. What does
there
that
we
count?
go. You heard it. You heard it first on Greenlight in real time.
It's real to me, damn it.
Yeah, real time scoop. Adjusted for podcast release. But that's crazy. I mean,
he must have a great blueprint there for what he plans to implement.
Well, I remember this fall, Kyle, talking to Dad, and like I can say this now, but like, hearing him talk to Sean Payton about the games on TV, and I'd be like, what is he saying about like Russell Wilson? And he seemed to be confused that they couldn't get it going. Like, it's like one of these things where it's like, almost like I could fix that.
Yeah.
Like the player watching the game. I could make that play. It's like
your old man watching the plumber unclog a toilet. It's like, get out of the way. Let me handle that.
Yeah, and I feel like he was sitting on set from what it sounded like and saying, why don't they just run more of what he's
Can I tell
comfy
you,
with? And,
your dad's in that room. I'm with him every Sunday also. I'm there also.
Yeah.
He is a treat to watch these games with. Yeah. And the Russell stuff, because those last few weeks, Broncos kept on coming up after they fired Hackett. We would watch and he would say, Drew lives in San Diego, Brees. So does Russell. He's like, I coached Russell in the Pro Bowl. He's like, there's still good football in Russell Wilson. Yeah. I don't know the guy well enough to say that he can turn it around and all this stuff. I will get to know him if that's the opportunity. But both he and Kyler, because Kyler became a topic too once we knew that Cliff was going to get fired, and he would say the same thing. Like, there's like those guys are awesome. Like, there's still a lot left.
Yeah, they're good.
He thinks Kyler's fixable. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, but again, that's what makes these guys great is they think they can fix any problem. Like, because they're so bright and the offensive minds.
The unknown is on offense too.
Yeah. I think he can fix it. That's why when we did best outlooks for next 3 years, we picked 5 teams ahead in here, and one of the teams for me was the Broncos. Like, we made a lot of fun of them, but they could land Sean Payton. Russell Wilson's still in there. I think he's got to make less off-schedule plays. I think that was his bread and butter in Seattle, and now he doesn't have that ability anymore to the degree that he did. And I think Sean Payton can bring out that, like, hey, let's win under control and take the profit. And we don't have to rely on that stuff.
One thing that Sean Payton did a really good job of with Drew Brees, obviously Drew and Russell, both not the tallest tools in the tool shed. Russell and Drew both had a really high level of success at the top of the pocket, like deep top of the pocket.
Yeah.
I'm talking usually quarterbacks start their step up at 10 to 12 yards. They're at 13, 14 yards. They can see more back there.
Yeah.
I didn't see a lot of that this year. Phil Simms had that to say to me, and I watched it, and I was like, damn, you're right. You can't even see over his line.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe Sean implements
That's why we loved rushing
heavy
him.
play action, bombs down the field opportunity for Russell to see the play develop in front of him.
But that's why we liked rushing him, because he set it 9-10 yards.
I would say to Peyton, again, this is all coming very fast. We're doing this live. Like, I have a whole bucket to empty if you want to just talk about Peyton to the Broncos. Basically, I said to him, I go, I don't know about the money. I don't know, but you're looking at Herbert and you're looking at Mahomes, and you're choosing to go up against those guys every year, twice a year.
Yeah.
If you go to Houston, that's full autonomy. And if you go to Arizona, I mean, Stafford's not there much longer. You're up against Geno Smith. You're up against whatever, else is out there in the NFC West with them. And he was like, Denver is an amazing football town. And he kept on hitting this thing about the Penner family and the Walton family and their resources, but also how sharp they were. And he had a lovely meeting with Condoleezza Rice, who's the former Secretary of State, who's part of this ownership group. And I'm telling you, Sean Payton was like so in love with this idea of the Broncos fan base and the history of Broncos football, that all that stuff about competition, and he wasn't saying that, oh, fuck it, I can go up against anybody, don't worry about me. It was a different tone. It was like, no, there's a few franchises. Denver's one of those where it's like a crown jewel franchise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, good for him. He got his pick, and Denver and the Saints have been discussing 2 potential packages for Sean Payton. This is what Adam Schefter's tweeting, but we already knew this. Denver's 2023 1 and next year's 2. for Payton, and the Saints 2024 third.
The compensation is going to be insane as far as what they're paying him.
Probably crazy, dude.
People, I don't know if that's it's not public and they don't want it public, but he had a certain number and they hit it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, because I know that Fox money's good. That's what I'm, you know. Okay, well, good. So we get Sean Payton in Denver. The league just got more fun, for real.
Like the league's better for this.
It's better. Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.